I'm here in San Francisco with Jane Austin. And Jane, what does birth look like in San Francisco?
Well, it's a good question, Gena. Thanks for asking. So it's so interesting because birth in San Francisco is actually, there's a very, very, very wide spectrum. So we have, midwives who attend births in the home, in the hospital, and we have obstetricians, obviously, that attend births in the hospital. So we've got everything from a holistic model of care to a very medically based kind of practice. So for some women, they will have a midwife that is really listening to them. They're very collaborative kind of care with the mama, and then we'll have women that are working with OBs that are amazing and listening to them, and then we've got other women that are actually working with OBs that kind of have a perspective that actually doesn't really trust birth. So I think we have a really wide spectrum. It's interesting because it's almost arbitrary. Unless a woman is actually seeking women-centered care, she's not going to get it. She's very likely to kind of stumble into a practice that is more medically based, and unless she's really seeking a practice that is kind of outside of that cultural norm, she's very likely to have a birth that is sort of the stereotypical kind of care that there's a lot of medical intervention, and that's in the pregnancy, in the childbirth, and into that postpartum period. So I always think a woman can evaluate her care by how many vaginal exams her doctor wants to do. So if you got a doctor who's always wants to stick their fingers up your coochie at the end of your pregnancy, then I really think that you need to ask why.
Excellent. Excellent.
Ask why. And the thing is that women don't know it's optional.
Amen.
They don't know it's optional. It's so crazy. Is that the craziest thing?
Yeah.
And the thing is, the information that is received from a vaginal exam at the end of the pregnancy tells you nothing.
Nothing, and it doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything. Your cervix can be long and firm, and you can have your baby the next day.
Right.
Your cervix can be soft and fishy and open, and it can be 2 weeks for you to have your baby. So there's sort of this fallacy that the vaginal exam gives you information that's relevant, and it's actually not relevant. So, I think that there's that. There's the hands-off midwives that really listen to mamas. There's the hands-on OBs that are doing vaginal exams every week in a woman's, starting at 37 weeks. Every week they go